What a nice view. We're going up Table Mountain today. Going there, we're going to take the Plata Cliff Gorge route, which is the quickest route to go up to the table. They say we should get well prepared, get some water, rain jacket, a hat, some hiking shoes, man. But since we're on skateboarding time, we forgot everything but the hat. So let's go for a stroll, man.
Table Mountain was named one of the 7th wonders of nature in 2012.
They say the first couple meters are the hardest. It feels like we're climbing Mount Everest today. Woo! Too much chiwiki.
There are many different routes to get to the top of Table Mountain. The most popular one is taking the cable car.
Well, I usually hike, so now going up with the cable car feels like touristy, but it's a nice experience, man.
It's my first time. Everything is the first time. I've never been on a trip or on a tour, and I've never rode a cable car, and this is so amazing for me. I don't have anything to say right now.
A few more steps, man. Getting there. What a view.
Regardless of the route you take to get to the top, once you're there, it's a sight to be seen. Towering 3,500 feet above Cape Town, Table Mountain is visible by nearly 1 million people every year. There's 1,500 plant species in the 57-kilometer square area comprising Table Mountain and the Black Table, a number at least as large as all the species in the whole of UK. South of Table Mountain is the Back Table, which plateau doubles at around 6 kilometers into the valley.
It's amazing. Like, check it out.
When you come down from Table Mountain, you can look forward to the hill bomb to downtown. Staying in Cape Town, we had to spend our nights on legendary Long Street, a historic and travel-friendly street littered with old Victorian-style architecture and countless hostels and bars. Here we ran into Cardell, a 6'7", originally from the Netherlands. He was curious about our trip and wanted to show us the town. Just up Long Street is Board Hub.
There's a thing on Mondays which they run in Sea Point, which is really cool.
On the boardwalk, something like that?
On the boardwalks where everyone gets together and pushes. And the guys, the trick skaters will play a game of skate, the downhillers will try to slide as far as they can. It's cool, it brings everyone together.
We asked Sam what it was like growing up skateboarding in Cape Town when he was young.
Socially, and interaction was, like refined. You couldn't like go skate with your homie because he was a brother of color, and like you couldn't go into certain areas. But that was a bit of a difficult thing to understand. And I was pretty young. I was like 12, 13.
Is there still any like racial divide in the skate scene at all? Like, you feel it, or it's like
it's probably the most undivided. Yeah. The surf and the skates are probably the most undivided.
Tight communities.
Yeah, it's more like, do you skate at 8.5 or do you skate a drop through?
We were also curious about local companies.
This is one of these boards. Like they're kind of a new. It's a new like genre of like, because obviously surfboards are super pollutants. Like to build a surfboard and it breaks, and what do you do with it? It goes on the landfill and super big carbon footprints. They like just try and make surfboards and skateboards out of like the most green friendly, without earth friendly materials, and they've got, it's called rolling wood. The shop.
If we rang him up today, you think he's like at home? You think he's in the shop?
I'll give you his number.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
The unfortunate thing is we're only here for like today and tomorrow.
Our game plan was to catch a train to Muizenberg to check out Rolling Wood.
This is heavy. This is where Mandela was prosecuted. Cruising around the nucleus of Cape Town. Can't just walk, gotta skate.
On our way, we stumbled upon a bush doctor.
Medicine.
Yeah, like traditional. Clean the blood. Yeah, I'm a doctor, I come from the bush. I only make fire in the mountain, eat from the mountain.
How much for a little bundle?
It's 10 around for you. 10 rand. 5 rand. 5 rand.
South African magic. We just met with that bush doctor, gave us some herbs and medicine. We're gonna try that tonight and maybe feel even better tomorrow, man. We just up on a train to go to Musenberg. The local skate shop, the board up, told us to go meet with the Wawa Surf Factory, which make recycled surfboard. So what's your name, man?
Leah.
Leah. Nice to meet you, Ben.
We hear this train is dangerous. So after 7 o'clock at night,
Yes.
would you
Take a train?
take a train on your own?
If I had no choice,
If you had no choice?
I would. No.
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 If you had no choice, you
I'll go to
wouldn't.
the nearest police station. I've done it before.
Wow.
First class is not safe. I mean, now carrying something like this,
Dangerous.
So obvious.
they
Yes.
might want to mug you and take it.
Traveling anywhere, you want to be alert and aware that anything can happen at any time. Things can be a little more dicier when you have a camera. As you can see here, watch this blurry figure come at me. Let's go.
We don't mind if they mug him, as long as they don't mug us.
The plan was to leave Musenberg and be back by 7 tonight. The 45-minute train ride takes us south into False Bay. Musenberg is said to be the birthplace of surfing in South Africa. Famous author and playwright Agatha Christie surfed here in the 1920s. We headed to Rolling Wood to meet the people behind Wawa. From there, they took us to the shop where they make their boards.
Wawa also stands for kind of waves, water, woods, you know, and that's what we're all about, you know. It's like keeping it simple, going back to the roots, valuing, you know, where we come from, where surfing comes from, and preserving the nature that we all love as surfers or as human beings. So our goal is to really remove the plastics from the surfboard industry and use longer lasting and more sustainable and greener materials. You know, there's a few ways to do that. You could, you know, go the complete wooden route, which works great. You know, you get a solid wooden board, completely natural, but it's fairly heavy. So the only way to reduce the weight is by kind of making composite constructions or sandwich constructions, mixing woods and foam and kind of using the qualities and properties of every material.
With an estimated 750,000 surfboards being produced each year, 40% will end up in a landfill. That's roughly 45 million kilograms of CO2 emissions, equivalent to an average car driving for 200 years non-stop.
The resin that we work with, so if you've ever been to any other surfboard factory, you'd probably be wondering how come you can stand here and not have to like cringe or anything, because the resin we work with is a bio-based resin, so it's odorless, so you can't actually smell it. Whereas any other or most conventional surfboards are made with very strong petrochemical-based resins, which are firstly bad for the environment, but also bad for the applicant, to whoever's working with it, whoever's sanding it, or putting the application on. It's a mixture of agave, which is that tequila plant. Agave, exactly. Yeah. And XPS foam, which is a very, very hard foam that's actually commonly used in construction for insulation.
The various woods they use are locally grown and traditionally used for boat building.
There's hardly anything more rewarding than riding a board you've shaped yourself. It's a combination of smaller hand planers, hand planes, sanding blocks. So it's blocks of wood covered in sandpaper. We play around quite a bit with asymmetrical surfboard design and changing the way it rides. Unfortunately, there's far too little experimenting going on in that domain.
For sure.
But it's coming up, definitely. I mean, people are getting bored of seeing the same old stuff.